Steve Bannon was a chief strategist for Trump during his first term. He is still a very close ally to the White House. And he has been, frankly, obsessed with China and its relationship to the United States and what it has done, according to him, over the last several decades. He's been obsessed with this for years.
In the White House, I worked 7 days a week, 18 to 20 hours a day. 50% of my time was on the pivot to Asia.
When you listen to Steve Bannon talk about the relationship with China and the United States, there is something that comes up quite a bit.
People in the United States have to understand one thing. The Chinese look at us as a tributary state to them. What they have done for 25 and 30 years is played us as a barbarian state, barbarian management. Okay, they incentivize our elites, and our elites deindustrialize, particularly the upper Midwest of this country. It's the reason Donald Trump's president.
So what does he mean by this? The tributary state piece is, he says China sees the United States as subordinate to China, as a place that they can dump their cheap goods, make a lot of money, and then proceed to do whatever they want on the global stage. The second piece of this is the barbarian state piece. And what he says, the barbarian management that he's referring to, is he's basically saying China has bought off America's elites to allow this tributary system to happen.
Right. They wrote checks to the universities. They wrote checks. They've essentially bought off the city of London and Wall Street and the corporations. You should know. I say this in a sense of kind of anger. The great investment banks in London and in New York became the investor relations department for this regime, okay?
There are problems with this framing that they've been bought off. To me, clearly what happened is American corporations realized that they could make their goods much cheaper because labor was much cheaper in places like China than in the United States. They built their factories there. They took advantage of the cheap labor there. And that's what happened. They were chasing a profit motive and strategic interests. And the idea that the Chinese had to do some sort of grand manipulation or some bribing or some back alley deal to make that happen doesn't make a lot of sense to me, because this seems like pretty straightforwardly what capitalism economically incentivizes us to do.